But next up, ladies and gentlemen, we have the dumbest bill in America. And do we have a lead up, Mr. Producer? Here it is.
Dum 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 dum.
And it's the dumbest bill in America, and it is hiring illegals as police officers. You heard that correctly, ladies and gentlemen. The dumbest bill in America is hiring illegals to be police officers. Now, as you've probably heard during this podcast, The Great Takeover, we're telling you the government's trying to do everything it can to confuse you about what is right and what is wrong. And here's another example. Open up the borders, get rid of countries as we know it. And the most powerful country to get rid of would be the United States of America. Create a situation where citizenship becomes useless and meaningless, and then overwhelm the country with illegals, people who have broken our laws because they've crossed into the country illegally, and then hire them as police officers. They're enforcing the law, the same people that broke it. So get this. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker, a Democrat, signed a bill into law that would allow non-U.S. citizens to become police officers. Opponents of the bill argue that it will be madness to allow foreign nationals to arrest American citizens. After passing the Illinois State House and the Senate, Pritzker, the governor, signed the law known as Illinois House Bill 3751. Now, ladies and gentlemen, there was a great debate on the House floor. I think it was on the Senate floor in Illinois. And I want to premise this by saying it's just kind of obvious what the debate would be. And here's Republican State Senator Rose of Illinois, the state senator, on the Senate floor talking about this insanity. We have a clip, and here it is.
We listen every day in this building to debates about the police powers of the state of Illinois. And yet here we are conferring the police power, the ability to arrest a citizen of the state of Illinois, or frankly, a visitor to Illinois from anywhere else in the United States of America, an American citizen, to a non-citizen.
Imagine that. Illegals given the responsibility to arrest American citizens who are illegal. House Bill 3751 states as follows, quote, provides that an individual who is not a citizen but is legally authorized to work in the United States under federal law is authorized to apply for the position of police officer, subject to all requirements and limitations other than citizenship, to which other applicants are subject. So in other words, citizenship doesn't matter. This is the great takeover. This is the great takeover. And the only way to correct this craziness, ladies and gentlemen, other than to elect people that have common sense and believe in our country and believe in citizenship and believe that borders matter, the only way to correct this is to either elect people to overturn this law. I mean, I'm sure the law is going to be taken to court, of course, but that misses the point, or just leave the state of Illinois. I'm sorry. If 10 million people left the state of Illinois now, so be it. So be it. Who cares? It's the only way to teach these crazy blue states a lesson. I mean, that's all that's left. I mean, Chicago is the dog wagging its tail on the rest of the state. The rest of the state is red, of course, in Illinois, but Chicago is super blue. Chicago runs the state. And as a consequence, the state is controlled by crazy Democrats. Now, obviously, I feel very bad for people who don't have the ability to move out of Chicago or move out of Illinois because they're too poor. I feel terrible for those people. Because many of those people do know better. They do know what they want. They do want a safe community. They do believe in American citizenship. They do love their country. They do believe in borders. But the only way for this to correct itself, I think, really at this point, is for there to be a mass exodus from the state of Illinois. According to WTVO, Illinois would allow any immigrant with legal authorization to work or who remains in the country under the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals DACA Act to apply for the position. That's not really what it sounds like to me, because the previous description in the bill, which I read verbatim from House Bill 3751, says anybody can be a police officer. And as long as they meet all the qualifications, other than the citizenship part, because they don't have to meet that one anymore, then they get hired. They get hired. And I personally think, ladies and gentlemen, that one of the reasons Illinois, it's not the only reason, but one of the reasons they're so desperate for police officers is because they went through this massive cancel the police movement, disrespecting police officers in Chicago, which caused a massive amount of people who are police officers to retire early or just leave the profession altogether. And now you have lots of people who have left Illinois already and continue wanting to leave Illinois. And they're like, well, let's just hire illegals. Since we're a sanctuary city, why don't we have a sanctuary police force? Oh my gosh. So get this. Quote, at 5 p.m. yesterday, when no one was paying attention, Pritzker signed a bill to allow illegal immigrants to become police officers, giving non-citizens the power to arrest citizens in our state. Miller wrote, and this is Representative Mary Miller of Illinois, she's a Republican, wrote on Twitter, no sane state would allow foreign nationals to arrest their citizens. This is madness. Ladies and gentlemen, I will tell you this. I believe that this great takeover that's occurring, that is the great takeover of the very, very wealthy oligarchs in the United States, like, I don't know, Bill Gates, Michael Bloomberg, George Soros, and then the powerful elite, the Clintons, the Obamas, combined with big tech, Google, YouTube, and others, combined with, of course, the dishonest mainstream media, and then combined with the deep state, are all colluding together to do a complete great takeover of the United States of America, which involves turning all of us into subjects where we are no longer free, but instead we are subjects of the elite and the oligarchs and the deep state, etc. And that is the dumbest bill in America, hiring illegals as police officers. And that's it for Mark and the Millennials. Thank you for joining Mark and the Millennials. This is Mark Fisher. Thank you to our producer, Christopher Hopkins. Check us out on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Getter, True Social, Rumble, and our website. See you next time.